Alright, go ahead.
This is what he says. And I say, what the beep is that? It started out. See, it started out.
You didn't even start it out right, did you?
This is what he says.
No, this is what I want, he said.
This is what I want, he says. And what is that? What the F is that? And he says, it's an authenticator. Just as though that made any sense at all. Which it doesn't, because all an authenticator is something that tells you that something is A, real, or B, not real. Like, this matters in virtual reality. You want something that tells you what's real or not? Nothing is real in virtual reality. That's why it's virtual reality, not reality. He should have, like, figured out for himself. Or at least listen when I attempted to explain to him instead of nodding his head and grunting. So I'll sort of think maybe he's listening, which he is not. So anyway, that's what he says he wants. And being a really good Christmas type elf, I listen really well and make plans to get it to him in such a way they will be all surprised and warm puppy feeling. Maybe even teary-eyed stuff. This is the cow's teary-eyed. The good kind for like happy stuff, you know, but like that does not happen. And why not, you ask? It's because I'm very responsible. I like to have things all like clear out in the open. Everybody on the same page. Sort of.
Beg your pardon here. Hear that last one.
Dude, you're killing Mom, man.
Her.
Hold on, I gotta say something to the camera. Dude, this is messed up.
Same page sort of person off of the Christmas persuasion. Head for the computer, full of the joy de vivre. With chutzpah, and yeah, that probably isn't spelled right. So, take it, hand corrected, up with Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or Joe Blow or whoever, because it's not my job to program the spell check on that thing.
That was on chutzpah. By the way, is spelled properly.
Yes, I noticed that. Tape's good. So I'm like at the computer, happily typing in all the stuff, and bells and whistles and cannons start cannonating. Whistling or ringing and stuff, or they would have if the last idiot who worked on my new computer had completely screwed up the sound system so that everything is now accompanied by that soft fuzzy noise, even the mixed tapes. Are they still tapes? Now that they're or CDs, or do they have to be called mixed CDs, or what it is? Called CDs or discs or something else? And why should I have to call them that when I know perfectly well? I mean, they're
Remember, there's only 6 minutes left.
tapes. Which they most assuredly are not, but not so much the real recorded in studio type CDs don't have so much of, but they do have some.
Mom's got way too much free time, man.
She sits at the board. And actually there isn't much noise because it's like mostly a full screen thing saying, alert, you can't go there because this is a recognized by Fresno County whoopee gaming site. And therefore, oh lowly boy, you cannot go there and have some fun instead of flattening your rear in your chair and working your behind off. Although most of them actually get larger, not so much off. When you really think about it. So I try again because I might have made an error or something, although it's not likely since I looked at the page where it is. So carefully written out. And again, she writes it out.
HTTP colon backslash back.
I mean, I looked before each keystroke, and man, I got it nailed right on the head and not exactly. And you still cannot go there from here. So eventually, tiring of the constant heart-wrenching rejection, I throw up my hands and search up Bonnie. He claims to have computer expertise. It is these depths I'm willing to go to show my devotion to the cause that make me truly exceptional elf. That kind who would hit and run a parked car in their zeal to get a genuine Cabbage Patch doll for other persons. But that's another story and a little sword for the moment, and will have to be revisited at another time, and only after the consumption of copious amounts of alcohol or other lubricants. And I was right. You cannot go there from here, so the solution was obvious. Go somewhere else. And so I did, but he was there, always there, at the machine. You can't scream at the screen and ask for help when he's there, always there in the room, right under the printer. And that makes life so much more difficult than after carefully typing in and checking it twice, at least, and finding it to be perfect. The idiot machine keeps telling me to register my name here. Well, I don't want this silly thing. He does. But the stupid, silly machine program isn't set up for that. So it wants me to register, and since I'm not in any hurry for her to know what he is getting.
I'm not in any hurry for her to know.
For her to know. Oh, okay. What he's gay for Christmas. Good Christmas, awful types. I try to keep some secrets. She always knows too much, and there really ought to be something we can do that if anyone has any more or less legal suggestions. Well, I did say more or less, so I can't ask for help in the homeland and have to face the cold winter night, which is not my duty as an elf. But really, there are limits, and it would have to be... Jesus Christ. Oh, there's an end, thank God. It would have to be much easier if there was a person at the end of the line, but there isn't, so I have to locate my signature scarf and wrap it softly, tenderly around my not-so-swan-like neck, and trudge off to one of the noisiest locales known to elf types, the local electronics store. When they get that stuff, they play it too loud over the two main speakers, so that if you could find an employee-type person, you'd have to yell directly into their ears and probably either break their eardrums or ruin your upper ranges forever. Especially with his cough. I had so much trouble shaking, which is, oh my dear God. It's still going to, oh my God.
There's only 2 minutes left of video.
They really have to stay at home, but really good Christmas health tips. Have a non-sacrifice personal health to stand in the line for the Star Wars X-Wings and so forth, as is their sometimes almost sacred duty as the elf of the highest order and modest besides. They wear blue if they're supposed to know anything, but 2 out of the 3 of them are in blue and only look at me blankly when I wave my carefully noted details at them. And the 3rd, a female, has eyes that light up as she recognizes the sacred codes and whispers gravely, "I'll look that up for you." Alas, even though there's finally a human sort person in blue that recognizes the need that there's only one way to actually obtain the authenticator. And that is online, which is where I've already been, and I can't get it there because I don't want to register for it, and I don't have his code, so I can't register him for it. So we are now back to, this is what I want. Here's a check. Buy it yourself. Merry Christmas. A blank check. The best Christmas present ever.
Unsigned, unfortunately.
Oh.
World, you need to know. Mom's evil. Mom.
What? I
Two.
had a few minutes to spare.
She took it, she cut them apart and taped them together by hand. By hand. Like 50 feet. I would measure it, but it's too tangled already.
Mary.